Hi friends, welcome to our channel. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you guys for last year, which is 2022. Thank you for all the subscription and all the comments and likes. So guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a chef cap with a standard measurement. Please keep watching. Thank you. It's a very simple one. I already have my fabric here. Okay, so this is the fabric I'll be using. You can cut 22 by 22. The length should be 22 and your breadth should be 22. So that should be enough for you to do whatever you want to do. Can you see? So this is on fold. Though the edges are not straight, okay? But don't worry. It will be enough for me to achieve whatever I want to do here. Okay, so now the first thing you do is to fold. This is the right side of the fabric. It's so similar, and this is the wrong side. So first of all, I'll fold into two like this, and then I'll fold again into four, like you want to cut a peplum. Okay, so by the time you're done folding, you're going to have two openings here, and then this part is going to be closed. Okay, so now the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to be using these two colors, green and orange, a nice combination. It's going to come out very beautiful, trust me. So the first thing you're going to do is to mark from this part. I'm going to be marking 10 inches, but if you want your cap very big, you can use 11 inches, but 10 inches is fine because we are still going to add a band to it, so that's going to increase the length of the cap. So if you want it extremely big, you can use 11 inches, but for me, I'm going to be using 10 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to mark 10 inches all the way around, like you want to cut a peplum. Do you understand? Just go ahead and connect your points together like so. So this cap we are making is going to be having an opening at the back, and then it can fit any head. It can be used by a male or female. It can fit any head circumference, because it's going to be having an opening at the back, and then it's going to be having a band that you can use to tie it at the back, so anybody can wear it. It's actually a standard measurement I'm using. Anyone can wear it. The head circumference I'm using for this tutorial is 21. So but because it's having an opening at the back and it's going to be having a belt and a band, so anybody can wear it, no matter how big the person's head is. It will be able to fit properly by the time the person puts it on. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. So once you're done, this is what you're going to have. Okay, so but before I open it up, I'm going to pick this part a notch. Okay, this notch is just going to help me when I want to create my plate. Okay, so I'm just notching this part like so. Okay, so I'm just going to open it up. Once you are done, this is me just indicating the wrong side and the right side. Okay, so this is it. But before I open it totally, I'm going to go ahead and create the opening at this part. So you can go by 2.53 inches. I'm going to be using 3 inches. Okay, so I'll just mark 3 inches like this, and then I'll slit it open. Okay, I'll stop at that point, and then I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. So you're just going to have a full circle like this once you're done cutting it out. So I'll set this aside, and then I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 inches. Like you see what I have here, I cut it in a bias form, like you draw your lines like this. This was how I cut mine. Okay, so I didn't cut it straight like this. Okay, this was how I cut mine out. Okay, I didn't cut it straight like this. Okay, so you're just going to cut a piece like this that is probably like 10 to 12 inches. Between 10 to 12 inches. Something that can help, that will be enough for you to just go like this, and like this. And then the width is 2 inches. Can you see? 2 inches by 10 or 12 inches. You can decide to trim off the excess once you're done, okay? But I'm not going to cut it out. I'll just use it like this. Once I'm done, I'll trim off the excess, okay? This is for this part, like this. And then this last piece is going to be for the band and the belt, okay? So it's going to come around this part, and then the remaining will be used as a belt at the back. Okay, so how I got this measurement was I put my fabric on fold like this, and then I measured the head circumference that I'm working with. I used 21 inches. Okay, 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. okay, this is the 10.5. So I added 15 inches extra to it. I added 15 inches extra on fold. So by the time you open it, you're going to be adding 30 inches plus the head measurements you are working with, okay? For instance, if you're working with 21, you're going to be adding 30 inches to 21. Altogether, you're going to be having 51 inches for this piece, okay? So that's what I have here. This is like 51, thereabouts. This is like 52 plus my allowance, okay? So this is what I have here. Now let's move to the sewing of this cap. What I'm going to do first is to use this bias, okay? I'm going to fold like this, and then fold like this, and then fold it into two with my iron. And then I'm going to come back to show you what I'm going to do to this one. Guys, I've gone ahead to iron it this way. Like I folded half, and then I folded it into two like this. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it straight like this. Can you see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to put it in like this, and then I'm going to stitch on it. I'm going to top stitch on it like this. So let me just use my pins to secure it for you so you get the gist, okay? I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and then stitch it like this all the way to the end, and then trim off the excess, okay? Now once I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pleat. Okay, so I'm just going to be creating pleats like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Remember I said I'm working with the head circumference of 21. Okay, so I'm just going to pleat this full circle till I get 21. Okay, so I'll just pleat like this all the way, and then I'm just going to pleat and pleat and pleat, and then I'll secure it down with my sewing machine. So hope you can see what I'm doing. I'll just be pleating it all the way. I'll pleat, and then just secure it down. And then for this piece, I'm going to fold it into two equal parts like this, right side facing right side. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark my head circumference, which is 21 inches divided by 2, because it's on fold. That is 10.5. So this is 10.5 here. Okay, so I'll come to this part also and also mark my 10.5 here. Okay, so I'll turn it also to the back and also mark my 10.5. That is because I want to have a line at that point. I want to have a line that indicates that that's where I'll stop my stitching whenever I'm sewing. So once I've marked those points like this, I'm just going to grab it like this and fold it into 2, and then I'm going to stitch from here all the way with 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to stop here. I'll pick the other part like this, fold it into 2, and then I'm going to stitch and come like this, and then I'm going to stop at this point that I made. You can decide to notch it, but for me, I don't want to notch it. That's why I use my chalk to make my points here. Okay, so I will stitch all the way down and do the same to this part, and then I will turn it inside out and give it a good press. And also I'm going to stitch this one down and create my pleat, and then I'll come back to show you the next step. Friends, like I said earlier, I've gone ahead to stitch this one. Can you see how neat it is? I don't know if you can see it. It's looking so neat. Look at the back and the front, so neat. Okay, now this is the band. Like I said, it's 52 inches by 5 inches. I forgot to mention that earlier. It is 5 inches. Okay, so by the time I was done stitching it, it was left with 2 inches. We were left with 2 inches. Okay, so by the time I was done stitching it, we were left with 2 inches. Okay, everything was 5 inches. When I opened it, by the time I folded it, it was 2.5 inches. And remember, I said the length is 51 inches, but I added 1/2 inch on both sides for the joining allowance. Okay, the seam allowance inside. Okay, so this is it. And now I've also gone ahead to pleat the cap. So what I have here is 21 inches. Okay, let me just go ahead and measure it so you can see it. Okay, can you see? It's 21 inches. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to pick this band. Okay, and then I'm going to start placing it inside from one end like this. What I'm doing, put it inward like this by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to pin it all the way. So I'll just continue like this, and then I'll just pin it down and take it to my sewing machine, and then I'm going to stitch on top. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but it is simple enough. It's just for me to tuck it in, and then I'm going to top stitch very close round to the end, and then I'll come back to show you the final look. Friends, this is the final look when I was done joining the band to it. Can you see how neat it is? So if you want yours to be bigger, like I said at the beginning of this video, you can increase this one to 11 inches instead of 10 inches, and then you can also increase this one to 6 inches instead of 5 inches. When you do that, it will become wider and this one will become bigger. Okay, so guys, can you see the back? I've tied it, so any head measurement can wear this cap. Okay, you can decide to arrange it this way, and then you can also decide to put an interface in this part so that it stands very well, depending on what you want. For the sake of this tutorial, this is what I did. Okay, I was able to come up with. So guys, if this tutorial has been helpful to you, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a huge thumbs up. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. Don't stop learning, keep learning. See you in the next one. Bye.